for your attention. We have about 5 minutes for a few questions. So if you do have a question, please raise your hand and say to whom your question is directed. And if you have a question to you, please, I guess, come up to the microphone so that the viewers at home and abroad can see you as well. Yes, please.
Jonathan Reinhold. First of all, thank you all very much. That was absolutely fantastic and fascinating, and I felt my Adam to wake up. And it was very coherent. And I think my question, I think it's to all of you really. It's that if I understood correctly, that Rabbi Sachs sees Adam 1 as Adam 2 as one person, whereas Rabbi Soloveitchik says, no, in the modern world, modern secular people are Adam 1, and religious people have 1 and 2. And I think if I've understood that right, then I think that what's going on, if when I read Rabbi Sachs, and I thought what you said about him reacting was amazing, I think that he always has these dichotomies, and we spoke about it yesterday with the science, right? And the two halves of the brain. But for him, it's always inside a person, and you can either have that tension as something positive and creative, or you can have it as something negative and that makes you lonely. And I think that their different generations makes a real difference here. Footnote number 4 in Halachic Man is got the shadow of the Holocaust and fascism and communism written all over it. And Jonathan Sachs, Rabbi Sachs, is a baby boomer, and he's grown up in an era of peace and prosperity, and has the word hope belongs with that generation. Yeah, in all different forms. But, I'm not saying he's like, all we are saying is give peace a chance. But it's not for nothing that those things are part of the same generation. And also your point about Zionism and I've forgotten about that point. I think it's very significant that I think this is where what Sachi was saying. I think for Israelis today who are unself-conscious Jews, they don't feel that tension. That's just, what am I doing now? Am I reading a book about physics, or am I praying in shul? So I'd like you to comment on this, because it's sort of the ideas that
You didn't mention my name, but I assume it's addressed to me. I'm not going to speak about the generational thing, but so the picture that you portray, that really Adam the first and Adam the second are two people. So Adam the second is the member of the religious covenantal community, and Adam the first is the member of sort of the majestic community, general society. Yeah, but yes and no, because the point is the concrete man of faith is supposed to, that's the whole point. The concrete man of faith is supposed to be a member of both communities. He's both Adam the first and Adam the second. That's exactly why he's lonely, right? Namely, I had a whole passage which I left out, where Rabbi Soloveitchik, after speaking about the opposition between majesty and covenant, said, but really they're complementary in certain ways, because they unite in the ethical, moral norms. So the real reason why Adam the first, Adam the second, the concrete man of faith, is lonely, because he has to be members of both communities. But if you look at actually, and this is actually I found striking, the passage, I think it was eventually handed out, but you can see, so we see modern Adam the second, as soon as he finishes translating religion into cultural vernacular, finds himself lonely, forsaken, misunderstood, at times even ridiculed by Adam the first. So you would assume that he's speaking to Adam, we have Adam the second, and he's speaking to Adam the first, who's some other guy. But then he says, even by himself. Namely, he's speaking in a certain sense to himself. It's almost like the concrete man of faith, as a majestic man, himself has problems of understanding the message of faith. So almost the danger is that Dafka, the Orthodox Jew, who's an observant Jew and is a member of the covenantal community, is also a member of the majestic community, so he also has the danger of translating all of the terms of faith into purely pragmatic terms. So I mean, all right, in for a penny, in for a pound. So let me just finish this point, because no. I mean the real critique that Rabbi Soloveitchik would, that following this, would make of Rabbi Sax's sort of, aren't you in the danger, or all of us, all of us Orthodox Jews, when we're speaking to the general society, which is ourselves, of doing this, of somehow translating for ourselves the categories of faith into cultural categories, and that's why he says, you may say that's too high a price to pay. We have to withdraw. We have to be very careful about this. If we're too involved, we'll fall into this trap.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you very much to all of our speakers at this session. We will reconvene in about 14 minutes, or 13 minutes actually, after the break, and we'll see you all for the next session today.